Media Group. So I wanted to sit down with James and talk to him directly, straight from the horse's mouth, not from sources, not from go-betweens. I want to hear directly from James. What's been going on over these last 6 weeks? What's been going on inside the mind of James Okeefe, and to allow him to unpack it for the entire world to see, starting here with the Human Events Daily audience, to explain to us the path forward. All right, we are excited here to bring on James Okeefe, the new head of the OMG, the Okeefe Media Group. James Okeefe, welcome back to Human Events Daily.
Hey, Jack, great to see you.
I got to ask, man, how did you come up with the name, the OMG? I mean, I get Okeefe Media Group, but surely somebody said to you, like, James, are you sure you want the OMG? You sure you want to go in with that? Walk me through that one.
I was sitting in my new war room here, which, I've about 10 people that I've identified to keep doing what I'm doing. And we were just spitting out names and different ideas. And I think putting my name in it was something that most people wanted to do, because I've already had one company stolen from me. So I think it's a little more difficult when your name is in it. And it was just like Okeefe Media Group. And then there was that OMG. So it was like TMZ, OMG. Oh my gosh, because kind of like the videos that we do, it's like, oh my gosh, that's outrageous, right? It creates righteous indignation, shocks the people, wakes them up. That's what we want to do. So we have a little logo there, and it's a subscription-based platform where, Jack, you can actually go on there, and for $1,000, you can actually sponsor a camera, one of our special cameras that we will put into the hands of the willing, because there have been probably 5,000 people that have emailed me over the last month that want to basically do what I do. So now I'm going to basically create Uber for citizen journalism and get the cameras out where they need to go.
Well, that's actually incredible. And so what you're also doing that, and I actually didn't realize that when you did the first rollout, so that people can go in, and if you're someone who, okay, maybe you don't have, in the Intel community, we would have said placement and access, right? So placement and access obviously is the bread and butter of what you guys do on your journalism. So you may not have placement and access, but you might want to fund that type of journalism. You might want to monetarily support it. And by the way, now, are there different tiers to this? Is this something where people could maybe do like, a $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever it is, et cetera? Walk me through all that.
Yeah, there's going to be, right now, we're about to break some stories like I always do. But if you go to this website, OkeefeMediaGroup.com, there's tiers. You got $500, you get a certificate. For $1,000, you can buy a camera. For $5,000, you can get a video from me, and then for $20 a month, you can just subscribe. And eventually, this website is going to have basically seminars on how to do this sort of journalism. And my vision is eventually to arm thousands of people with these little cameras and teach them about ethics and how to use the cameras and so forth. So we haven't built the website out fully, but people wanted me back in action. I'm back in action. I'll be breaking stories in the next week or so. And people wanted to know how they could support. So it's not a 501c3. It's not a non-for-profit. It's just a subscription-based news organization where the people that want to send their $20 can now do so. They can subscribe to this website. We will eventually build out the website as we create this content and these what I call masterclasses in how to do citizen journalism.
Well, I think that's really great, because I get people all the time, I'm sure you do too, they come up at events, they come up at Turning Point events, CPAC, whatever we're at, and they say, hey, I love what you do, I want to get started, I want to do what you do, how do you get started? The first thing that I always tell people is just get out there and do it, right? Don't sit back and wait for permission. Don't think that you need, there are literally, so we did a segment the other day talking about this, that if you get a press pass and you just go to your local, city council and you find out the contracts that are going through, there are stories everywhere. Does that happen to you? Do you get people coming up and asking you that kind of stuff?
Oh, I mean, yes, I'm glad you brought that up. The number one thing people always say is, what can I do? I've always said that. But I also think people like to whine. And I'll say it because it's, it's critical of the audience, but people just like to whine. They like to complain. And a lot of people are complainers and whiners. So this is my opportunity to put it back on them and say, oh, you want to do something? Okay. Well, how about you take one of these little cameras, and we're going to give it to you. And if you live in wherever you live, you're going to go to your city council meeting, your school board, and you're going to start recording. And we'll help you do it. We'll guide you. We'll train you. We'll coach you. Thousands of people. Great. We'll do it. Let's do it. Let's go. And then they're like, well, I don't know. And I said, well, you said you wanted to do this, so now put your money where your mouth is. Actually, just me tweeting out, buy the little cheap Amazon version of the camera, like dozens of people bought it and they're willing. And I think this experience that I've been through over the last month, breaking that Pfizer story and then being thrown out of the organization I founded, has actually inspired a lot of people. They feel more activated. So yes, I go to these events. Everyone always asks, how can I help and support? A lot of people, I think, just want to complain. But I think there's a small minority of people who are fearless and willing, and that is what this company, OMG, Okeefe Media Group, is designed to do. We're going to train and mobilize an army of citizen journalists because power hates sunlight, and they have awoken a sleeping giant. And the only way to hold our leaders accountable, like you have an intelligence background, is to find the people with the access, people that are in proximity to those people who have the I call it testicular fortitude, to get close, to record, to jump on the proverbial grenade, not literal grenade overseas, but the proverbial grenade in Washington or wherever, and to record it and to show people the truth, but to do it on a massive scale. That's the mission of this organization, and I would ask your audience to go to the website and subscribe. Just go up there, $20 a month. Support us, support our mission. We could really use the support.
Folks, it pains me to say this, but America is in big trouble. If you listen to Human Events Daily, then you know